Let's try this again. Hi everybody, and welcome back to my channel. My name is Kimmy. If you are new here, I'm a full-time working mom to 2 sweet girls. I have a 5-year-old named Emma and an almost 9-month-old named Isabel. We post videos about my life as a working mom and everything and anything in between, and we would love to have you become part of Team Dodge. So if you are new here, go down and click that subscribe button and give us a thumbs up while you're down there. And so it's been a while since I've done a sit-down video. I'm sorry that I have been inconsistent with my uploads. My Monday and Wednesday, not even Wednesday, my Monday and Friday schedule. I have been in a very busy season of life. I will link in the iCards an update for you if you haven't checked it out yet on what's going on, but anyways, that's not what this video is about. I had posted on Instagram a while back, actually, a working mom Q&A, and I wanted to sit down and actually film that for you guys now. If you don't follow me on Instagram, I will have the link or the information down below, so you can go follow us there. I would love to have you connect there. I think it's one of my favorite mediums outside of YouTube to share. We post a lot on our Insta stories and all the good stuff. So make sure to follow us on Instagram if you're not currently. Okay, so the first question is, it's kind of a 2-part question. She said that she's a full-time working mom with 2 boys, and how do I split my free time with both of them? So how do I split my free time with the 2 girls? She said for her, it seems like her oldest son seems to get jealous. So Emma and Isabel are 5 years apart. She has been a really great big sister. She hasn't been jealous. I will say though, now that as Isabel's getting older, more active, that I am starting to notice little bits where it does rub on Emma and she wants mom. She'll get upset mostly at nighttime when she's like trying to go to bed and she wants mom to snuggle her, or Isabel wants to sit with me and Emma's upset because I have to share and she's like, Isabel, move over, I want to sit on mommy's lap. So I have noticed some things like that over the last couple of months as Isabel's getting to be bigger. As far as splitting my free time between them, I don't have a perfect answer to this yet. I'm still finding that right rhythm. With Isabel being very little and needing my time most of the time, it's just, I feel like I do spend a lot more time with her than I do with Emma. What I have found that has kind of worked for us is I'll take Emma with me to run to Target quick or do something silly like a little errand, and to her that means like the world because it means one-on-one time with mom. It's something special for her, but it's just something for me where I can dedicate my time to just being with her, not even necessarily focusing one-on-one, but just having a special thing that her and I do. A couple weeks ago I did bring her to go see the My Little Pony movie. It was just her and I. We went on a Friday night to go see that. So I do try to be intentional with doing big things, not all the time, but you know, here and there, so that she does feel like it's important that I'm spending time with her. Outside of that, I do try to snuggle with her and find little times during the day where that works, or have her be inclusive of what I need to do with Isabel. So again, I'm not perfect at it yet, and I feel like, I don't know if you ever find that perfect rhythm. I've just been giving myself grace to find that rhythm as much as I can, and I'm just really thankful that Emma's been go with the flow about how that works, because my time at home is so little with being a working mom. I have only a set time at night to spend with both of them, and so it just can be a challenging, and sometimes I just have to spend time with both of them, and I try to explain that as easily as I can to Emma. So the next question is, can you talk about your daycare situation, how you found care for Emma as a baby? Was it a daycare center or home daycare? Are you using the same care for Isabel? Ooh, this is a lot. And have you experienced challenges with daycare? Okay, so I have a video on how I found Emma's daycare and doing daycare interviews. So I will link that in the iCards, because that is its like own separate thing. So I will make sure to link that in the iCards below. As far as, is it a center or a home daycare? We use a home daycare, and we are using the same daycare for Isabel that we use for Emma. We are so thankful and so grateful for the daycare that we have. I think I talked about this a little bit in my home video. If you've been a long time subscriber, I've talked about our daycare situation a couple of times. We have a home daycare that is fantastic. the home that they use is just specifically for the daycare. I'm not going to get into too many details because I don't like to put that information online, because you never know what kind of creepy people are out there. But they have plenty of room for the kids. It's dedicated. The home that they use is just for daycare, and it's just fantastic. We love them. They are a Christian couple who run the daycare, and they are just like part of our family now. I feel so truly thankful to the Lord for guiding our steps. Like, I could get teary-eyed about it right now because I was so terrified when I moved from having Emma watch, or my mom watch Emma, into a daycare, and interviewing people and feeling like, is this the right thing or is this the wrong thing? And I'm just so grateful that we have a fantastic home daycare. Both of our girls have gone. They love our girls, and they are truly like part of our family. Have we experienced any challenges? No, we haven't. And again, I'm so humbled and thankful for that, because I know so many families that struggle with that and have moved from daycare to daycare, from home daycare to home daycare, multiple times, and have dealt with behavioral issues because of the ways that their kids have behaved. I'm, again, so incredibly thankful for the situation that we have. So another question about daycare. As a daycare provider, I'd like to know more about what you look for when searching for a daycare. I'm not a mom yet, so I only know of what I may look for in a daycare once I have children, but I don't know for sure what I want until I actually have kids. I'd like to make sure the daycare helps moms with transitions back to work, so any tips from a mom's point of view would be amazing. So the first thing, and I talked about this in my other daycare video, was just the connection that they had with Emma. So when I went and interviewed daycares, I intentionally brought her with to see how the daycare provider reacted to Emma. And the one that we picked, where the girls are now, she was the only one who acknowledged Emma. As crazy as this sounds, Emma was like right around Isabel's age, actually, when we started looking. And she was the only one who acknowledged her. She went down, she set out toys for her. She was like, oh, hi, sweetie, you must be Emma. I mean, it was just crazy how I met all these other people. I walked in the door and they're like, okay, so what questions do you have? Like, it was very business-like, which I'm okay with because it is a business transaction, but like, acknowledge my child. I mean, if I'm here and you're not even interacting with them, what are you gonna do like when I'm not there? So I wanted to see what their genuine passion was, because to me, when you see the child and you interact with them genuinely, that lets me know that you're doing this because you love kids. And that to me is important, that you're not doing it because you fell into it or you thought that this would maybe be a good way to do it. Just to have that genuine connection with the child is so important to me. The other thing that I really liked for us was having a faith-based daycare. That's not something that maybe isn't important to everybody else, but for me, that was incredibly important, that Emma would go to a place that would nurture her spirit, that they would be exposed to, you know, Bible stories and praying for prayers and things as they eat meals. And that for me was just hugely important. And the other thing that I really looked at was like space. For us in Minnesota, it's hard when you have a home daycare where there's like one tiny little room where the kids are, because the majority of the year they're gonna be inside because of the weather, and the weather can be so inclement and change so fast. And so that was really big for me, to have something that felt kind of like a school environment as well as a daycare. So, you know, colorful posters on the walls, and just a lot of learning tools and just things of that nature. Like, seems silly, but again, when I walked into the daycare center that we picked, she had all of the kids' birthdays. So she had like the balloons up and it said, you know, so-and-so's birthday is this day. So it just felt very genuine and very much like a place that was invested in the kids that they serve. And so that for me made it really a good place to go. The other thing that helped when we were picking, you know, transitioning Emma, was having her be able to come and do a couple test days and then get the feedback from you know, just my husband, he brought her to go play and interact with the kids, and just the communication, the first day, checking in. I think all of those things are hugely important when checking with a daycare, and finding a place that you want to invest your kids. Right. Next question. I'm a full-time working mom, just had my second little one, and I was wondering how you deal with mom shaming as far as being a working mom rather than a stay-at-home mom. I feel like this could be a whole video in and of itself. I've talked a little bit about this in one of my Working Mama Wednesdays, so I'll link that too as well. For me, I've gotten to a good place with it. It was very difficult when I was pregnant with Emma, and shortly after I had her, I had people that would say things like, oh, so you're just gonna let somebody else raise your child? Or, oh, it must be nice to get a break every day and leave your kid. There's so many things that people say intentionally, not intentionally, misguided, misunderstood, misinformed, that make it difficult. I think the one that still really bugs me the wrong way is like, oh, it's so nice that you get to go to have a break every day and have time with just an adult. Y'all, I can't. That is so hard for me. And again, some of it is because of what I do and the responsibilities. My job is so stressful. Like, I feel some days like I wish I could just be home with my kids even on their worst days, because the intensity of that is so far less than the expectations of what I have to do every day, whether it's dealing with reporting data to my president of my company, my CFO, my corporate controller. I mean, there's so many things I do in a day that I'm like, it is not a mental break. It's not anywhere close to a mental break. Most days I don't get a lunch. Most days I work through my break. So it is like 1,000 miles an hour. It's not even close to what you think. It's like me sitting at my desk chilling, listening to tunes, and maybe for some people it is, but that's not for me. So that one still really rubs me the wrong way. But as far as dealing with the mom shaming, I think you just have to shrug it off. There's so many choices in parenting, working at home or working from home, working outside the home, stay-at-home mom, breastfeeding, bottle feeding, baby food, teething, baby-led weaning. I mean, there's a million choices in parenting that you're going to be shamed for, and I feel like this just falls into that category. I think it's silly that people say you're letting somebody else raise your child. For me, it has been nothing but beneficial for my girls that they know that there's other people outside of mom and dad that are invested in them, emotionally invested in their success, that they have people that they can look to that are going to inspire them and nurture them and have them grow in life. I think you wouldn't say that to a mom when you're sending your child to kindergarten, that, oh, I guess your job's done. You're just letting somebody raise your kid until they're 18. We don't say that about education. So why would you say that about daycare? It just baffles me. But I just think you have to understand that people are going to say things to you, again, misinformed, misguided, intentionally. I don't really know. But you have to know that what you're doing is in the best interest for you, for your family, for your financial situation. And I am very excited that I can show my girls that you can be a mom, and you can be a fantastic mom, and you can succeed in your career as well, that you can do both and be a rock star. So that's kind of the place I've gotten to with it. Next question, how do you keep a happy marriage with so many distractions and temptations? And how do you keep the spark alive? I'm no expert. I think for me, my husband and I have been together a long time. It'll be 15 years this next 2 months actually. And I guess the things that this sounds really cheesy, but the things that make me like look at him and fall in love with him is the way that he's a dad and the way that he cares for our family. And those things excite me in my heart and make me fall in love with him all over again while you're cleaning poopy diapers. And I mean, it's silly things like that where I see him changing the baby's diaper and he's playing with her toes, and I'm like, oh my gosh, this was the stuff that I thought about all those many years ago that I hoped we would have someday, and now we have it. And I think it's just taking those moments to step back from the moment that you're in and just put it in perspective to what you've achieved together, what you've been able to achieve in life and in your love. And I think it's little moments like that that try to captivate me again and keep me pushing forward. It's really hard, and we don't make all that great of a time for each other on the way that we should. We try to get in date nights and do things here and there, but again, I feel like this kind of goes back to like my surviving or thriving in motherhood. I keep it in the perspective of the season of life that you're in, that we're in a season of life with having 2 kids, having a baby, my husband's in school, both of our work schedules are very busy, and so a lot of times we just don't have time to make time for each other, and that's okay. It doesn't mean he doesn't love me. The minutes that we do have where we can laugh or be silly or just take a mental break, I try to savor those and place importance on them, but I'm no means an expert. I think we've just gotten to a really good place of just understanding each other and being able to meet each other's need that way. Okay, last question. How does my work feel about Emma leaving earlier, or me leaving for school now for Emma now that she's in regular school instead of daycare? How do you balance 1 child in school and 1 child in daycare, get everything done? I don't. I will tell you that. So my work and I were able to come to an agreement on kind of what I needed for Emma's school schedule, and that's that. I'm not going to really talk about too many details because of privacy for me, for my work, and for the potential that I could have somebody see this who works with me. So I'm not going to do that, but I'm just thankful that I have a workplace that is very family friendly, that they are very oriented to family, and we're able to come to a decision with that. As far as balancing 1 kid in daycare, 1 kid in school, some days it's crazy. I pick up Emma from school, I come home and work, I go to pick up Isabel, because usually when I pick up Emma from school, Isabel's still sleeping at daycare, so I don't want to go wake her up from daycare, so we try to balance that, especially on dance nights it gets busy. I feel like our life is just busy and we do the best with it that we can. It's a challenge for sure, and I wouldn't say that I'm able to get everything done, because y'all, if you looked at the other side of this camera, my room is a hot mess. I have a stack of laundry, I have an unmade bed, I have a Goodwill bag on the floor, so most days I muddle through it. I prioritize what I can and just give myself the grace that I'm not superwoman, and it's okay. And I think as moms, that's a message that we need to just tell ourselves, that it's okay to have grace. I think we have grace with everybody else but ourselves. We have such high expectations and such high pressure of what we think we should be doing, or what we think we should be succeeding at, or what success looks like. For me, if my kids are healthy, happy, fed, changed, provided for at the end of the day, it's a success, y'all. Like, you did it. Pat yourself on the back because you're awesome, and the rest is just, it's just not important. It's okay to have a messy house. It's okay to have dishes that are done. It's okay to have a quick, easy dinner. If it means that that keeps the sanity for your house, that keeps the sanity for your house. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I love doing questions and answers. If you have anything else that you'd like to see, make sure to leave them in the comments below. And we love you guys. Thanks for watching, and we will see you in our next video. Bye!